Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I think we're all in for a treat. I'm Mary Ellen with the Irish Cultural Center of Western New England, giving you a big welcome and a happy St. Pat's Day from all of us here. We know you're going to love tonight. Remember that you can type questions into the question comment area on your screen, and we'll get to them at the end of the show. Before we start, I'll say that the ICC is now open for business, officially starting today. We'll be open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner and drinks and some music, all COVID friendly and following the regulations, of course. Please come by to see how great the place looks, all decked out for the March season, and enjoy good company and a night out after our long, long, long winter. Our beautiful deck is also open. It's my pleasure to introduce our Fulbright scholar, Brigitta Gallagher, better known as Gita. She's here from Middleton, County Cork, Ireland for the academic year, teaching courses in the Irish language at the Elms College and joining us for fun times. She's also a fine fiddle player, which you will see later on in the program. Gita?
Díobh a cóide, lá éile Pádraig sonna Díobh Gallagher, Gita Sanam Dum, or my name is Brigitta Gallagher, or as Mary Ellen kindly introduced me, I'm better known as Gita. So I am this year's Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant, hailing from the mighty County Cork, and it's my incredible honour to be here with you tonight, and also to be here with you this year, teaching the Irish language and culture here in Elms College, and also with the Irish Cultural Centre of Western New England. I'd like to thank Mary Ellen for her wonderful introduction and for helping me and all of us to bring this entire event to fruition with our fantastic team here in the Irish Cultural Centre. I've enjoyed my time immensely in Chicopee and Springfield, and can't believe it's going to come to an end in just 6 short weeks. But the Irish Cultural and the team have been a delight to work with and such a support during my time in Western Massachusetts. As Mary Ellen just said, the centre has opened once again, which is great to see, with lots of brighter days ahead of us, metaphorically and literally. So if you've got a free evening, we would love to have you pay a visit and perhaps call in for a Guinness or two in the Irish Cultural Centre. You'll definitely see me there having one already. So it's my honour to introduce our first guest to perform tonight. That is the wonderful Janie Luther, coming to us from Montana. Jane is also a Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant this year, and I had the great fortune to spend my Christmas holidays with Jane. Jane is from the ever so beautiful Guggaunbarra in the ever so beautiful County Cork. And she is a formidable sean singer and has kindly agreed to share some of her songs with us tonight. So hello, Jane, and thank you very, very much for joining us.
Díobh a cóide gur míle maith go Gita. It's lovely to be here with you all today. It was a great pleasure for me too to spend Christmas holidays with you, Gita, with great crack together, as we say in Ireland, which means great fun. So I hope people are having lots of great crack today. Like I said, great fun, as we say in Ireland. So as Gita said, I'm from County Cork. As we say about Cork people, I'm from Ireland, but most importantly, I'm from Cork. So the songs I've chosen this evening are all from Cork. So I'm from the Gaeltacht area in Cork called Gaeltacht Fuscree, which is an area where we speak Irish every day. So the songs I've chosen are from that area. So the first one I'll sing is called On Pertheen, written by Diarmuid O'Tuama, who's from Coolay, which is a small village in Muscree Gaeltacht. It's a very funny song. It's in Irish. So it's about a boy who sees a girl when he's going to work at the bog, and every time he tries to talk to her, she just sings back, dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee, every time. So at the end, he goes home and his mom says, "How was your day?" And his only answer is dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. But at the end of the song, a car comes up to their house one day, and out comes the girl who was sitting by the river, and she asks him, will he marry her? And his answer is, you probably guessed it, dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. So unfortunately, we're not all together in person, but I'll definitely be watching you all, so you can join in, and I'll see you joining in as we would at home. So seo é. Ma din á seach agus chlár thugus ballim láh gums meid dul tríal munkul seán hir san dóirín háil linge bhí go tlá leagan is le blian hefsú lang connic chalína linge si fuáil les ná hín bhín Svísi canna dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. Seo trasna ná mé le fuair scainte is focail bhrátha go Jewett bhéil. A kit an chláirín spelle lán luasan san trahán bhí ag rig go tréim. Vannius go láchtim mar dhéanach sár ar le íomh an gáir as le bes an mín. Ach lean si gháil an dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. Arú sa dúirt agus gur uait mar níl luam se ach tror na slí. Gígur mór an féin a gúin bheag tá mo clós an é sin na hí. Tá clégin máil am a churp go táinte san chláirín san áing in na lí. Ach níor stán siad an dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. Agus slán le an bhfuiltí má agus thar neis go clár go minar cuas. Minting bhánach mo crína gáile agus níor bhard leam cléir ná tua. Sam a bháir chun istá seán bach nach luán í sé neisiún scríocht. sé dúirt go cráite dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. Love tar éis blian is rá a tháinig cá beag going sa ród. Se hartar sé an stúra áling agus sa máthir le mór go gló. Le ceis fíor bháin le a láran bhlá an fécint an ráfing í mar bhní. sé dúirt sa láthach dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-ah, dee-dee-I-dee-dee. So sin é gur raibh mína maith agaibh sin an 13. That's the 13. And I could see some of you joining in, so gur raibh mína maith agaibh. Thank you very much. So the next one is also from Gaeltacht Fuscarí, which is the Cork Gaeltacht, as I said, where we speak Irish. And this is called Untitled Chapter, which means the little white horse. And this was written by Saoirse Shorten, which can be sometimes kind of tricky to say. But he went Quickshare Imerca is Sasana, so he emigrated to England. And he got a letter from his dad telling him his white horse died. So this is his lament for his white horse. So bunning my trail as, I'll give it a go. Mochraach is mocha sé an bás a hagan go trám. Nor leachtar lár an car gur bhaling bheith buan. Ní le fear bhlem nómh ná le buach a líomhhainn magán. Ach le láirín drohín ag éiring léidí sin capelín bán. In íomhléir in an air se chas se saoil. Ní rá si buin riamh mar bhcúilte ó gach taobh dá gael. Gígur mó má le cuir céis mine is si go slán. Is fear beag dá chóir bhí ar cricin an chapelín bán. Bhí súla me gan incuine go bhile go jo. The bhí si le gan dúil le son is ná só. Ach dá dhéarhar saith glas nu an seo chuir le brechon. Is súr go bhúiad seachas súlín an chapelín van. Cos an níor láidir cé gur hánig bud éún nachúir. Cho cawn gynafon a ganda sa gan desiacht gan liw. Is queen of Ceylon ar Islán ac yn tencas sa fon. Is beiau bydog fon ac yn lori yn chapelín fon. Fe hir hawl dy bawn le hair nyng rost. A hach dy redwch a chyrchw hi leis geile yn fos. The currach a galant on larvach sin dera magan. Is siachan is o las gavaya canem an chapelín van. Good, Nina Magov Shine. What instruments might I see a message here in the chat? What instruments might Shano singing means old style singing. So it's the oldest style of singing in Ireland. So very often these songs were sung during Bohan Tíocht, which was like when you would visit your neighbours and sing together by the fire, tell stories. So very often these almost always, they're unaccompanied songs. So you just sing them without instruments. Good question, Roz Gurmagat. Okay, so the next one is called A Bhríd of Your Crone, another one from Gaeltacht Fuscree. And this one is another kind of funny one. So the man asks, so it's about a woman called Brigita who's looking for a husband, and this man comes along and offers her his hand in marriage. And first she's kind of playing hard to get, and she's saying no, no, no. And then after a while he tells her about his farm and what a good farm worker he is. And that convinces her, of course. So in the end, she takes him up on his offer. So winning metri las, I'll give it a go. A bhríd of your cron, tenim me gol, is now be a bron a búrtar. They are an hev na malin das gael, not your fallen fames and weakness. Good is good ar fat enemish marga, is the gun tavern er fumens. Where me go like a strugger, no, we had go madden, this is stoke a go vanum galoon. Ashken a clef, tar fast a lum vein, is towards a sail grass work tight. Labby clúven go seacar féad heh agus cuiltain a déire nó suirt. Gurd brogin go cantanart fangi ar ghlach a fi siadidir de vanad di clúiseacht. Pilín or cront a gurd fútar, the couple is riding dress lat there to go live. The yalistum sé the varug lim head is toss a good hain cadúrt lad. Cymioch mo charid galer in narid lim hain the nenning sin scales and suas lad. Ní fósing hu galum na any that howl the ming fa the varing ganúcher. Gan leis na fada agus babia go bangine agus fer an bhre halh mar gúgais. The yenning sin ceach idir an legus béim is scoring eng leis fumend. The winning sin fair go gasta le fuin of ma ke gon gúrnu. The roaring, the roughing, the asking an cart le work with it sglap le lucid. Is most mer harf con sushin the cassis is farma con number of wint me. Is fan mit Australia for Shaskaruk sail agus Danian the Vrera Suerglum. Bim sin ag le goberlum heim agus salis na le lang gronu. Ma hugan too fast a cockney mar yowlish is stoke a gur farugum glue shocked. le garciún knasta gan muster gan bladder or gordam le scapa na crocu. Gaurav Mila Mahagav, thank you very much. I wonder if there's time for another one, Cheetah.
I think I'm just gonna look at the.
Yeah, we have.
I think we might have time for it. It's gorgeous, Jane. If you have time for another one, it would be gorgeous.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time singing with Cheetah at Christmas time on our road trip when we were in the car together. We sang lots of songs, a lot of Billy Joel, but we'll leave those ones out tonight. Gurv Mila Maga, thank you for the comments. I see them coming in here. I love the idea of storytelling around a campfire. Yeah, that's I'd love to have been there long ago, even though it's still like a tradition in Ireland at pubs and stuff to join around the fire inside and sing and share songs. So Dinning me ceann bháin Ella. So this one's called Unkoshere, and you'll also be able to join in this one for the chorus. I'll be watching you all. This one is about the Locht Shúil, so the travelling community in Ireland, and they're going to get married. So they're on their way to the wedding. So you can almost, when I sing this song, I can always imagine them because they sing about being in the horse and cart and they're on their way on the boher on the road, and you'll hear it when you hear the rhythm of the song. You can almost see them on the road. So join in for the chorus too. The glúisím bhealach beag dósalach is patíná rastalir códaige. I dtír I lena chun cóisiire chun iad a chur na stáil. A heachta bheala trí bhóthir turc is patíná rastalir códacha. The hit an canar a hónar lic go siúda chuid lena chun fána. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy Heidi dum. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy aero. The bhula was a good york dog nor a V and kind of cantona ge. Is dort on crack the good yolation is come brains of alacum block. The bhula was a good crot and sun is dort on crack the good brocklishin. Good and naster it thumb and nish can clue gan anam gan orok. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy Heidi dum. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy aero. The before man as a margiola agus tríidir praisce dóil mar funch. Rirá bhac le mór de sean snacar bhí an tairí in áda. The bhí Sheila leach mar cócracha is fiolaga radig da roster beer. Go bhaid hí bailthe drotar hí ó bheith na crecin le ráthe. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy Heidi dum. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy aero. The glúisín gasar ceoga mux ní raibh capan na cóisteacha. Ach bhóthir gathe chun cóisiire is iad a dulga go láthne. The bhfuil an sagart sa ród an fa is dómh de bhanig go glóra glic. Te go bhaile go stóghi clic is currig go rapal stable. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy Heidi dum. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy aero. Go daine ar ní códa san is ní dógan an ghlaci le códa níos. Seach pe an cusbal agus bór se lingus ber mí knagar a longat. The bhúil feargus go bhór a flic ní raid cusbal na bór se liú. Ach bhaig bhór galis bhór lom a fear gus bósa der bholach na srádiad. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy Heidi dum. San tidy Italy Heidi dum, san tidy Italy aero. Gurv Mila Magav, great singing by everybody. I can see you all joining in. Gurv Mila Magav, thank you everybody. It was great to be part of this celebration. If you have any questions, I'll be here for a few more minutes answering them in the chat. I have another St. Patrick's Day event happening in Montana in half an hour, so I'll have to go again. But Gurb Mina Magwib to everybody in Elms College and the Irish Cultural Centre for inviting me.
Thanks very
Can
much.
I relive Don Cudella Don O'Cod? Best of luck for the rest of the event.
Good Jane. And Jane, before you head, I know I've had a couple of students who've asked me about your Shanos course coming up. So I thought you might just be able to tell us a quick thing about that before you have to head off.
Oh yeah, Gurb Mina Magwib Cheetah. I forgot I was supposed to talk about that. So I have a Shano singing course, traditional Irish singing course starting next month, I think, or May. It's very harem shkarim at the moment. We haven't decided on the date, but I'll put the website in the chat. It's the Friends of Irish Studies, but we'll be covering 7 songs over 10 weeks, I think. So there will be like more of a beginner class. So for people who aren't like, maybe have just one beginner Irish class done, and then there'll also be an intermediate one with some more difficult songs. Okay, Gurmaga Cheetah.
Thank you so much, Jane. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jane. And thanks for joining us. I know you have a busy day in Montana today, and especially more events coming up this afternoon, evening time for you.
Evening, yeah. Gurmaga Cheetah, Gurmaga Mary Ellen.
Thank you so much. I am back to introduce our own Ellen Redman, who plays and teaches Irish flute and whistle at the Connecticut Academy of Irish Music and Smith College. She, along with button accordionist John Tabb, who's also here with us, organizes and plays in our Wednesday night trad sessions, which will be back to the ICC as soon as COVID precautions allow. Ellen, also again with John Tabb, runs an annual, very popular music-themed trip to Ireland every September with the ICC. We're hoping that will make a return in 2022. Ellen will be introducing and participating in music that's coming up next. Ellen?
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Yes, so John and I have missed the session so much. I think you're unmuted too, John, so you can join in.
I know. Thanks, Ellen. It's been a long time. I can't wait to get back to it.
I know. So one of our little party pieces that you and I do is this O'Carolan tune called Madam Maxwell. And Turla O'Carolan was a blind harper in Ireland in the late 1600s, early 1700s. And he would go from manor house to manor house and be taken in by the people there and given, room and board for a while, and he would play for them. And usually as a thank you, he would write a tune for them. And so a lot of his tunes are Planksteed, George Brabazon, and they're named after various people. So we do a tune that's called Madam Maxwell. And it's just me and John, and I'm going to try and share the screen. I'm more nervous about sharing the screen than I would be about playing live for some reason. So. That was Madam Maxwell. So John and I, along with my husband, David Clopp, and John's wife, Terry Tabb, co-host trips from the Irish Cultural Center. They're music-based trips. We usually go somewhere along the western coast of Ireland, and they're a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for some news about that coming up in 2022, fingers crossed. It's been way too long. So this next set of tunes I'm going to introduce is a set of tunes played by me and my husband, David Clopp, who's playing bouzouki in this clip. And the first tune is called The Sunset and is written by the County Fermanagh flute player Cathal O'Connell, who we had the pleasure of meeting when we were in Edinburgh last January, right before, as I like to say, in the before times. He's a legend. Most people know him from Boys of the Loch. He's wonderful. And the second tune is a tune by the fiddle player Colin Farrell, who's has played with the Elders. He also plays with Lunasa, and he did this amazing project last year. He started it not knowing what was coming in 2020. January 1st, he was going to write a tune a day and post it on Facebook and YouTube. And he did it. He made it through, I think he wrote over 300, and it was a leap year, right? So 366 tunes plus maybe a couple extra. And this tune is called Sign of the Times. And it's kind of appropriate in that it's a reel, but it's written in 7/8. So it's kind of missing something, but it's a fun tune. So, okay, hold on. I'll do this again. Let me get this up. All right, and I'll share this screen again. And this should be it. Oh, good. And back to you, Mary Ellen.
You're muted, Mary Ellen.
I am going to introduce Gita, who is going to introduce Siobhan. Gita, are you there?
I am indeed. I am indeed. Just checking I'm not muted. Yeah, we're all good. So tonight we have a performance, a recording of an interview with the Kerry-based poet Siobhan. Siobhán Ní Dhomhnaill is a friend of mine that I met in University College Cork. She's a bilingual poet. She was born and raised in Listowel in County Kerry. After finishing her degree in law and Irish, she undertook a master's in European law and the Irish language in University College Cork. She is currently studying to be a secondary school teacher in NUI Galway. She is the winner of the Collection of Poetry Award in Listowel Writers' Week in 2019. Her poems have been published in various literary magazines, and her first book, a collection of Irish language poetry, At agus Ionach Bheith Beo, was published by Cushgame in 2020. Tonight we are going to play a taster of Siobhan's poetry, and make sure to tune into Lá na Gaeilge on the 1st of May this year to hear the entire reading and interview with more wonderful insights into her poetry. So now, hopefully, we can play a little bit of Siobhan's poetry reading. Tonight we have Siobhán Ní Dhomhnaill joining us from Listowel, County Kerry. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, Siobhán, and sharing your poetry with us this evening.
Thanks so much, Gita. First of all, I'd like to say a big happy Paddy's Day to everyone in the Irish Cultural Centre in Springfield. I hope you're all having a lovely evening. And I'd also like to say how lucky you all are to have Gita working with you and organising such lovely events. A real ambassador for the Irish language and culture, Brigita. So tonight I'm going to be reading some poetry with you. I'm going to be reading poetry from my collection, which came out last year, and it's called At agus Ionach Bheith Beo, which means how strange and wonderful to be alive, which is kind of apt for the current climate we're living in. I wrote the title before I even realised COVID was going to happen, so a happy coincidence. I'm going to be reading the poems in Irish first and then in English. So for those of you who understand Irish, amazing. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. You can just allow yourself to be entranced by the beauty of the Irish language. I'm going to share my screen when I'm reading the poems. But first, I'll just tell you a little bit about me. So I'm a bilingual poet and I'm from Listowel in County Kerry, which isn't an Irish-speaking area, but it's close enough to the Dingle area, which is the Gaeltacht in Kirkagina, where they speak Irish in that area. And I grew up in an English-speaking household, but I've always had this draw to the Irish language and always been quite fascinated by it from a really early age. And I started writing Irish language poetry for the first time in UCC. I did law and Irish for my undergraduate degree, and then I did a master's in European law and the Irish language. And it was in this course that I got the opportunity to do a course called Creative Writing on Scríobh Cruthaíoch with an amazing poet called Ellen Redman, who's from Tralee, as it happens. And it was the first time I started writing poetry in Irish, and Alva took me under her wing as kind of a mentor and told me, you have a bit of a talent, which I was delighted to hear. And I started writing Irish language poetry and I haven't stopped since. So I was lucky enough to have Cushgame publish my first poetry collection. And, it was really exciting time in spite of the pandemic to have it come out. But so I'm delighted to be able to share some of the poems with you tonight. And this poem is quite special to me because it talks about a place which is very dear to my heart, which is Dingle and the Kirkagina Gaeltacht, which is truly the space and the landscape where my love for Irish grew when I was young. I spent summers in the Gaeltacht. I went to Irish college there, which is where young people go to learn the Irish language. You stay there for a period of 3 weeks. And every summer I would go to Dingle and fall more and more in love with the Irish language. I guess I found it amazing that I was, standing on this landscape where ancestors and people who come before us had stood and had spoken in this tongue. And it's strange, when I speak Irish, it feels less like, even when I was speaking it from a young age, like I was learning a new language, more like I was remembering something that I've forgotten, which is a strange feeling to have. But this poem is basically about, the impact that a place can have on you. And I truly believe that if you looked inside people, you'd find, the places and landscapes that they've been. And not one place defines a person, but every place you go and different journeys and different places you visit as you travel, you take parts of those places with you as you continue on. And, it ends up adding and combining and making you who you are and becoming a part of you. Another important thing probably to mention about this poem is that in the Irish language, is buineach get awesome is a way of saying that you were frightened. But also Peg Sayers is a huge cultural icon in Ireland. She, there's her famous book which she wrote, which she spoke and her son actually wrote, but she's a famous, icon. And I took a phrase that's common in the Irish language, is buineach get awesome, and inserted the name Peg in there. So is buineach get awesome literally means, the fright kind of jumped out of you. So in this poem, I talk about how, Peg and that old kind of, her spirit almost, goes within me when I'm in the Gaeltacht, and I feel her bursting out of me whenever I speak Irish after I've been in the Gaeltacht. So is buineach Peg awesome. Bhí roinnt léinte caite I gom I múltín gurt. De bhí gach le orlacht an talamh I casa o le goin. Suigúim, suigúim, suigúim. Ligas na ma grim canic réha I glas I mo bhéil. Na fáta letricas an áirih, an sin rial mé dornán félin, dulsk agus scéif a pí. De his an fear maribh, gach giuta do. In a year clockán, corcrach, cuis na salí shielta a valt. Is an sin na hilán, ceann ceann. An vlascéid mór beginish is inish na bro. Vlais ile oilecht agus cruútán an dawan ó hús go deire. Godí go raibh an áit ag glúgáil an macrum. Dán na sclófií duine, go bheic fí tíreacha, ó ceann go cos, is credum go fear é seo, go réir. Ag scava ó mlas, macaul, kraken, cartúil, bhoigh mé adding I mo bhullog mór. Bown na blascéidí ag teachta de gnéirí se dúirt sa lum hain. Is buineach Peg awesome. And now I'll read the English translation. I spent a few days in the salt lands of Valley Ferreter, where every inch of the land was crying out, take me, take me, take me. I went ahead and tasted the smooth green hills, electric fences and all. Then I chanced a fistful of honeysuckle, sea-tide dults and a swarm of wasps. I ate the sleeping giant, every bit of him. After, I devoured the beehive huts beside the weeping willow, and then the islands, one by one. The great Blasket, Beginish, and Inishnabroo. I tasted all the beauty and horrors of the world from beginning to end until the place was spilling out of me. If you opened a person, you would see landscapes from head to toe, and that I truly believe. Yesterday, the flavors laid my body bare like paper skin. I felt a sharp pain in my swollen stomach. That's the pull of the baskets, I said to myself. The Peg burst out of me. And the last poem that I'm going to read for you tonight is called The Weather in Corn, and I'm sure you're going to read. And I think for this poem, I think I'll point out that the act of translating your own work from Irish into English isn't one that many Irish poets do. Janie Luther does it, who I'm a big fan of, but most Irish language poets actually get somebody else to translate their work. Personally, I love the act of translating, I love playing with the words. But there is a danger when you're translating your own work that you are messing with the ambiguity of the words, that you have to really question what you're trying to say in the poem and what meaning you're trying to convey. So in this poem, in the Irish language version, I really captured like the tradition of the Irish language. So in an I'm sure Gurkig, it says, Bhí na Philly Shasta ag trava an Gurt Chéine, im Jog an Furkul Gurt an Gro. This in English means that, you know, poets are forever ploughing the same field. In one word, you know, the field of love. And that Irish old tradition of ploughing, of working the land, of farming, that agricultural background is quite important to, you know, preserve and to keep that old tradition in the language. So it's very important for me to try to come up with ways of, on the one hand, progressing the Irish language and modernizing it and speaking about modern themes, but without losing that tradition and that culture. Whereas in English, I say, I think quite a prosaic feeling underlies most poets' work. In a word, it is love. So you can see how the meaning is the same, but the words aren't. So this is on I'm sure Gurkig. Bhí na Philly Shasta ag trava an Gurt Chéine, im Jog an Furkul Gurt an Gro. Ní scríbhigh mé faoin rá, scríbhigh mé faoin I'm sure. Tá I'm sure go jazz I Gurkig inné. The weather in Cork. I think quite a prosaic feeling underlies most poets' work. In a word, it is love. I'm not going to write about love. I'm going to write about the weather. The weather in Cork is nice today.
Listen, thank you so much, Siobhan, for joining us this St. Patrick's Day. We're a little early. We're recording a little early.
We're a little early, but it's St. Patrick's Day in our hearts right now. So
Thank you so much.
Take a drink 2 different nights.
Thank you so much, Siobhan, for your time this evening. We really, really appreciate it. And your poetry is beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much for your kind words. And I hope you have a lovely St. Patrick's Day.
So that was Siobhán Ní Dhomhnaill. And if you would like to watch the entire recording with her, the rest of her poetry reading, and also the interview after, please do join us on the 1st of May for Lá na Gaeilge. So next I am going to play you guys a couple of pieces on the fiddle. When choosing the pieces to play, I tried to vary them and choose some different favorites of mine from back in the day. For those of you who know me, you'll know that I trained as a classical musician, but traditional music is something that I would always play at like local events or concerts at home. If you're from Ireland and play music, it's kind of inevitable that you'll learn some element of Irish traditional music. Because traditional songs and music are something that is very much core to our culture. So the first piece that I am going to play is called Tuair Dom the Love, which for our Gaelgoers joining us tonight will know that means give me your hand. This tune was originally written in the 17th century by Rory Dowell O'Cahan in Scotland after he had a disagreement with a Lady Eglinton. And he wrote this piece after she apologized. This tune was later revived by the famous Sean O'Riada, a Cork-born Irish composer and arranger in Irish music. So here it is, Tuair Dom the Love. Apologies. So the next place or the next piece that I'm going to play for you guys tonight is called the Rattlin Bog. This piece is a very popular one at home and is sang during and after a lot of nights out. So it's a real crowd pleaser and it would be sang so many times on a typical Paddy's Day. This piece was collected from oral traditions. And it's in English, and there's about 180 versions out there. There are different versions of this piece in French, in Italian, and in German. And you'll hear a lot of people possibly singing it today. So if you know the words while I'm playing, please do join in. Maybe on mute, but here it goes, the Rattlin Bog. So that one's got a good upbeat, fun bit to it as well. The next piece that I'm going to play for you guys is about Belfast City. So going away from my lovely Cork for a little bit, and this song is sometimes known as the Bell of Belfast City. And this song is commonly called I'll Tell Me Ma. This is a song I learned in primary school, actually, and sometimes it accompanies children's games. The song has been covered many times by a lot of famous bands as well, including the Clancy Brothers, Celtic Thunder, and the Dubliners. I'm definitely not going to be much compared to them, but I'll give the song a go anyway. So here goes I'll Tell Me Ma. So again, another kind of upbeat, happy one that a lot of people will be able to sing along to. And the last piece that I am going to play for you guys is a favorite of mine called Magilla Mar. This song was made very famous in recent years by the choral scholars of University College Dublin. It translates to My Gallant Hero, and the song is based on an old poem. The voice in the poem is believed to be the personified voice of Ireland, lamenting the failure of the Jacobite Rising in 1745. I had to look up that year. The modern song is based on a traditional air that was collected in Cooley in Cork in the 1970s. It's a powerful song, to say the least, and here goes Magilla Mar. So thank you very much for listening to those couple of tunes, and I hope you guys enjoyed them.
And I think New Leaf is coming up next, and we're a group of a trio, myself, Kara Jewett, and Jim Bunting, and we sure missed playing music the last year or so. We've been playing regularly at the ICC and other locations, and we have a set of tunes coming up for you right now. So I'll turn it back to you, Mary Ellen. Thank you.
Hello, we're going to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day, and we're New Leaf, and we're going to play a couple jigs for you, followed by a couple reels.
1, 2, 3, 4.
me again. Coming up next is a band that hardly needs any introduction if you've been anywhere near Western Massachusetts for the last how many years. The Healys are Don and Sheila Healy on baron, guitar, and vocals, with their grandson Charlie Bongiovi on bass and lead guitar. They've been entertaining us for many, many years, and in fact, they'll be playing at the ICC this Saturday, the 20th, from 6 to 9 p.m. with their COVID-friendly cyber vocals show. Musicians will be live, and the singing will be pre-recorded for some lip-syncing fun. Everyone is welcome to join in that. If you do come to the ICC, make sure you make reservations because we are following COVID precautions and we need to keep everyone spaced out. Take it away, Healys.
Hi folks, how we doing today? Welcome, happy St. Patrick's Day. We are the Healys with our grandson Charlie down the end there. We're going to do a couple of St. Patrick's Day songs for you here. Thanks for joining us. From Derry we sailed away on the 23rd of May. We were boarded by a pleasant crew, all bound for America. Fresh water there, we did take on 5,000 gallons of more. In case we run short, we're bound for New York, far away from the Shamrock shore. So fare thee well, sweet Liza dear, and likewise to Derry town. And twice farewell to my comrade boys, who dwell on that sage ground. If fortune should ever favor me, the right to have money in store, I'll go back and I'll wed the sweet lassie I left on Paddy's Reach Shamrock shore. We sailed 3 days, we were all seasick, not a man on board was free. We were all confined unto our bunks, with no one to pity for me. No father kind or mother dear to lift up my hand when 'twas sore, which made me think more of a lassie I left on Paddy's green Shamrock shore. So fare thee well, sweet Liza dear, and likewise to Derry town. And twice farewell to my comrade boys, who dwell on that sage ground. If fortune should ever favor me, the right to have money in store, I'll go back and I'll wed the sweet lassie I left on Paddy's Reach Shamrock shore. We safely reached the other side in 23 days. We were taken as passengers by a man and led around in 6 different ways. We each of us drank a parting glass in case we might never meet more. And I drank a health to all Ireland and to Paddy's green Shamrock shore. So fare thee well, sweet Liza dear, and likewise to Derry town. And twice farewell to my comrade boys, who dwell on that sage ground. If I back and I'll wed the sweet lassie I love on Penny's green shamrock shore. I'll go back and I'll wed the sweet lassie I love on Penny's green shamrock shore. Thank you.
Next up, we're going to do a song that when I first heard it, I thought it was written for me, but it wasn't. It's a song called Home from Home. I didn't sleep at all last night. I stayed up till the dawn, banging out those jigs and reels till everyone had gone, singing some old shut-eye song I hadn't sung for years, knocking back the flowers and the beer. I crossed the ocean to fly home away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. For it's easy to go and back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. I had one bag too many, just as I was sent to leave. I was loaded down with Smithwick's, with crunchy bars of tea, and I couldn't find my ticket as I was headed for the door, till I emptied all my bags on the floor. Back across the ocean to fly home away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. Where it's easy to go and back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. On board the plane, I sip a drink while waiting for my meal, just trying not to let my head know how my stomach feels. There's a baby right behind me, making sure that I don't sleep, and the flight's too full to find another seat. Back across the ocean to fly home away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. Where it's easy to go and back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. I fell asleep at last just as the plane was touching down, and I aged in years while waiting for the bags to come around. And I make it home at last, and I barely unpacked when I'm already making plans to go again. Back across the ocean to fly home away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. Where it's easy to go and back again, but it's hard to say goodbye. Back across the ocean to fly home away from home. I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. Where it's easy to go and back again, but it's hard to say goodbye.
Thank you very much. Next up, we're going to do a song written by Jesse Winch with a group called Celtic Thunder many years ago. We'd like to do it for you now. It's called When New York Was Irish. I'll send you a song. Days long ago, when people from Galway, the County Mayo, and all over Ireland came over to stay, take up a new life in America. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and weddings, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. We worked on subways, we ran the saloons, we built all the bridges, and we played control City Hall. We started with nothing, wound up with it all. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow old in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and Waists, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. You could travel from Kingsbridge to Queens or Midtown, from High Bridge to Bay Ridge, from uptown to down, from the east side to the seaside, sweet summer scene. We made New York City our island of dream. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow old in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and Waists, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow old in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and Waists, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. I look at the photos, now wrinkle the time of the people I cherished when the city was mine. Oh, how I love all those radiant smiles, how I long for the days when we danced in the eye. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow old in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and Waists, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. They were ever so happy, they were ever so sad to grow old in a new world through good times and bad. All the parties and weddings, the Healys and Waists, when New York was Irish, full of joys and heartbreak. Thank you very much. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Let's have a drink.
So I know, John, I've missed the sessions. It's been just over a year now, and we haven't had any, and it's been really awful. I know it just hasn't seemed right on a Wednesday night. You know, we would, well, since St. Patrick's Day, who knows where we'd be, but normally we would be at the ICC playing tunes. So when we decided to do this event, I thought, well, let's try one of those virtual things. And we asked our session players to contribute some videos, and we got them. I know some of them are here tonight. And so we're debuting this. This is a set of jigs that we usually do at our session. It's kind of our opening feel-good set. The first one is Willie Coleman's. The second one's called The Lilting Banshee, and the last one is called The Rose and the Heather. John, anything you want to say about the sessions?
Well, I thanks, Ellen, but we really do miss playing with everyone and being at the ICC and all the great people there that we've got to know over the years, the past few years, and hopefully we can get back to doing some of this stuff again soon.
Yep. All right, hope you enjoy this. And hope I can find it. Where are we? Okay. It's so good to hear everybody back together again.
Yay. So is that the 3 songs?
Yep, that's it.
So pretty. I'm sorry it's over. Wow. And thank you to all of our live musicians and the poet Siobhan. Wonderful all. Jane, Gita, Siobhan, Ellen and John and Dave, the Healys, New Leaf, and the amazing session players who we have really missed a lot. What a night. Thanks to you, our wonderful audience. We hope you enjoyed this night.